Hello everyone. So the next topic is about covalent bonds. I think you have earlier seen about energy band level diagrams of semiconductor, insulators and conductors. So the next topic is this covalent bonds. This is one of the important topic in this first chapter. Okay. So what is meant by this covalent bonds? Okay. By the name itself you can remember covalent. Okay. Co means it's addition. Okay. Valent means, like we already seen about the valence electrons, the valence orbit, right? So for the electrons which are present in the valence orbit, okay, they will bond with the another electrons of the another atom, okay, with the valence electrons of the another atom. So that means this electron and the other electron, they both will be made into a bond. So that is nothing but these valence electrons and those valence electrons will be made into a bond, so that it is called as an covalent bonds. Okay. So generally we have seen earlier that valence orbit of any atom, it will accommodate around 8 electrons. Okay. Generally in insulators the valence orbit is full. Okay. That means it will have all the 8 electrons. Right. So whereas in metals these valence electrons are very less. That means there will be generally around 4. The 4 electrons can be present in the valence orbit. So these 4 electrons can move freely within the material. That is why in metals the electricity can pass. Okay, because these electrons are freely moving. If you give some energy, they will jump to the other bond and all, and there will be this flow of electrons. That is why in metals conduction takes place. Okay. I'll just briefly write you and explain. I think that would be easy to understand. So generally in valence orbit of any atom, electrons will be 8 electrons will be there. Okay, whereas in insulators it is full. Usually the valence orbit is full. That means all 8 electrons are present. All electrons. Okay, it will not allow any of the electrons for conduction. Okay, whereas in metals the valence electrons are less. Okay, valence electrons are less than 4 generally. Okay, these 4 are freely moving electrons. Okay, that means if you give some kind of energy to this, suppose this is some kind of a metal. Okay, these are some orbits. Suppose this is the last orbit is called as a valence orbit. Okay, suppose there are 4 electrons over here, somewhere here. Okay, these are revolving around this. There is one more atom over here. Okay, so here also there are some 4 electrons over here. There is something more here, for example. Okay, in metals. Okay, so if you give some energy to this, some voltage or something to this, what happens is this will take the energy. This will be rotating. Okay, suppose this electron, these are free electrons. Okay, these electrons, if it gets a sufficient energy, then what it will do is it will jump over here. Okay, when it is jumping here, it is making some void here. That is nothing but some gap here. Okay, that we'll see in the later classes. Generally it is called as an hole. Okay, what is meant by hole current we'll see later. Okay, so when this jumps over here, it is getting more energy. So this electron also will take that energy. It will move here. This electron will move this place. That means flow of electrons. Electrons are moving from one place to another. When you are giving certain voltage, that means this complete this metal is in a conduction phase. That means electricity is passing through it. Flow of electrons is called as electricity. Okay, this is what happens in metals. Whereas in insulators, suppose if there are these 8 electrons, okay, these will not, even though if you give energy, these electrons will not jump from this band to, and from valence band to conduction band. In metals it doesn't take place. Okay, only in metals it will take, whereas semiconductor, like we all know, based on the temperature given, they will change according to insulator, the same process, like it will change into conductor, and this same process takes place in semiconductor. I hope it's clear. The flow of electrons, electricity, the main basic is also this only. This, when you are giving some voltage, electron jumps from one place to another. Okay, so this happens in metal. Now we'll see in semiconductors. Okay, generally what is meant by these semiconductors? Generally what we use is the basic things are germanium and silicon. Okay, so what is the atomic number of germanium is 32. Okay, whereas silicon is 14 atomic number. Okay, so 32 and 14. So what happens? Now we know the basic formula also. So how we will know how many electrons should be kept here and all is by this formula. Number of electrons in orbit. In any orbit, it is given by the formula 2n square. Okay, this is very important. 2n square. So in the first, for example, we'll see in the first orbit. Okay, in the first orbit, it is nothing but n is the orbit number. Okay, 2 into 1 square, that is 2. So in the first orbit, for example, it will accommodate, for example, something like this. First orbit, it will accommodate 2. Second orbit, okay, so it will be 2 into 2 square. So 2 into 4 will be 8. Alright, that means in the second orbit will have 8 electrons. Suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, just very briefly I'm drawing. If you draw properly, it would be for looking also it will be very nice. See, yeah, 2 into 3 square. So this will be 2 into 9, that is 18. Now see, this I am doing for germanium. Okay, this is for germanium. So already it is 32, right? 2 plus 8, 10. 10 plus 18, 28. 28 are done. That means remaining 4. So the fourth orbit will be 4. Because the remaining are 4, right? So it will be 4. Similarly, for a silicon, the atomic number is 14. So the first orbit, it is 2n square. Okay, so that means 2 into 1 square is 2. Second orbit, it is 2 into 2 square. Okay, that is 8. Okay, already 8 and 2, 10. Remaining is 4. So third orbit will be 4. That means the final orbit, whatever is present, this is called as valence orbit, right? This is valence orbit, as well as these are valence electrons also. Valence electrons. So this third is the valence orbit and 4 is the valence electrons. Alright, so next what we see is how this covalent bond takes place in this semiconductor. Okay, now we'll see how the crystal lattice structure of silicon and germanium will be there. Because both of them are having 4 electrons, the same structure will be for both of them. Okay, for example, there are some 5 germanium or silicon atoms. Okay, just remember this by seeing this and listening to this, you can easily remember this diagram. Okay, generally they will be asking this. This is an atom. Okay, suppose there are some 5 atoms. Okay, so the circles are called as germanium or silicon atoms. Okay, so next we will see every atom. Okay, generally this both germanium and silicons, these are crystalline in nature. That means all these atoms are arranged in some an order. Okay, they are always in some order. So we'll see how they will be arranged. Okay, as we said, there are 4 valence electrons in each orbit. So first we will draw 4 electrons for each of them. Okay, suppose this is an electron each. Okay, here also for this one. Okay, for this one. Okay, now you can see these 2 electrons which are nearby together. That means if you are giving some energy, this electron will jump over here. That means there is some bond forming it between them. Again, when you are giving energy to this, what happens? Again, this will form a bond over here. This electron will jump over here. Okay, so this circle, the process will be continuous. That means each electron, they are forming a bond with each other. Okay, If suppose if there is one more atom here, okay, for example, you can even bond with that, okay, just for an example. If there is one more atom over here, that free electron also can form a bond over here. Okay, just draw this. These arrows, I mean these brackets, this represents that is it is forming a bond. That is nothing but a covalent bond. Understood? So this circle is called as some germanium or silicon, whatever it take. This is an atom. Okay, the dotted part what I have written, that is a valence electron. Okay, and the brackets what are there, these are called covalent bonds. Okay, I hope it's clear. So when these each atom of it shares 4 valence electrons with 4 other atoms by forming these bonds. Okay, so these bonds are enabled to complete their valence orbits. Okay, so these bonds are termed as covalent bonds. Generally, covalent bonds are present in all the semiconducting materials. That's why they are called as good conductors. Okay, so this is like in crystal structure, right? So over germanium and silicon, generally this structure is same. Suppose if any atom is having 6 valence electrons and all, similarly you can draw 6 over here. Okay, 6 6 6 and all, and you can make a bond. Whichever are coming in contact with each other, you can make a bond. Okay, I hope it's clear. See, now it doesn't mean that this is not a covalent bond. If there is some another atom over here, okay, then if it is having, so this will also become a bond. That means it is in a covalent bond. This whole structure of germanium and silicon, as the valence electrons are same, 4, these are forming a crystal structure. You can make it a very big crystal structure also. Okay, so I hope this is clear. These are called as covalent bonds. Okay, the valence electrons which are present for any atom, if they bond with the another atom's valence electrons, if that bonding is called as covalent. So covalent. Okay, I hope it's clear.